Nick Shirley, welcome to the show, man.
Beautiful hoodie.
Thanks for the new wardrobe. Love this.
It's awesome. We're gonna let
Quality Learning Center, 1-800-FRAUD. What's this from?
We are gonna be learning a lot
What
today.
inspired this?
There's a lot of fraud happening in Minnesota.
So, hey, just for anybody that's listening that knows Nick Shirley, which is pretty much the whole world at this point, he's selling these amazing hoodies. So head over to where?
ShirleyDefense.com.
ShirleyDefense.com and get yourself a Quality Learning Center hoodie. But, man, I've been watching you. I feel like I've been watching you for about a year and a half, maybe. And me and my team got in touch with you, about a year ago. And wow.
Yeah, it's been quite the ride.
You got some balls, man. So this whole thing started, I mean, I think when I first saw you, I believe you were maybe in California or Washington or maybe Oregon. I can't remember, but you're running around talking to addicted street people, basically, fentanyl users.
Yeah, I've done a lot of work, especially around like the fentanyl crisis in America. Between fentanyl, the border.
You've been everywhere.
Been everywhere.
That's just where I first found you. But, so this latest thing, the Somali learning centers in Minnesota, I mean, wow. Just to start off, I mean, do you realize what you have done?
I didn't realize what I had done until I posted the video and it received over 100 million views.
What do you think you've done?
I think I just kind of show people how obvious fraud is inside the United States. Because people always talked about fraud.
Nick, you've done a lot more than expose fraud, man.
And
that's huge. It's amazing. And we're going to get all into that. But, dude, you've exposed major fraud. Because of that, I think we're likely going to see a politician held accountable. And on top of that, how many major media conglomerates are in the country? We got Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Newsmax, News Nation, ABC. What am I missing?
You got NPR,
PBS, billions and billions and billions, like, for all these companies, and a 23-year-old who's in business with his mom and a microphone goes and uncovers this shit. You've destroyed every fucking media conglomerate in the country. They are a complete joke, every single fucking one of them.
Yeah, they really are. And then when it comes down to investigating the fraud, instead of investigating the fraud, they investigated me.
I saw that. I saw they went after you. They attacked you. What do you think that is? Do you think they're embarrassed that they didn't cover it up, that they didn't find it? Or do you think that they're angry that you're the one that found it? Or do you think that they're angry that you actually uncovered it in general?
One, they're embarrassed. And also, I pose a threat to everything that they are. I pose a threat to their dollars. I pose a threat to their viewership. Why would they want me to get more views than them? And people are realizing now with X and other platforms, you can then post and then you can be seen by the entire world. You don't actually need to go talk to the senior editor inside the boardroom to get the video approved to go post. You can simply go out by yourself, film the video, go ahead and post it, and then let the world make their own analysis on what they've just seen.
Me and my producer, Jeremy, were talking about how to make you money before you got here. Because I was like, man, this kid needs a business underneath him. And we didn't have time to do it, but we wanted to print up hoodies because, you're the hoodie guy now. And we wanted to print hoodies that said, turns out you can just do shit, with meaning all you need to do is just show up and do it. But man, like, congratulations. Seriously, you've done a lot more than just expose fraud. You've exposed legacy corporate media. You are very possibly going to be one of the first people to ever actually uncover something that actually holds a politician accountable. I mean, we just saw, didn't he just announce that he's not running for re-election today?
Yeah, he dropped out from re-election.
How's that feel? That's you, man. That's you.
Yesterday, he was calling me a delusional conspiracy theorist, and then today he dropped out.
Oh man, yeah. Tim Walz, fucking career politician, picking on a 23-year-old kid. What a tough guy.
Yeah, what a
What a
tough guy.
tough guy.
What a fraudster
Have
he
you ever
is.
met him?
No.
Would you like to meet him?
Oh yeah, I'd love
I'd
to
love to
meet him.
fucking meet him
I'd love
too.
to meet him. I tried to go to his office, but he wouldn't let me.
Did you really?
Yeah, I tried to go to his office last time in Minnesota, and his guy came out, and they're like, "No, Tim's not here." And my guy David was telling him like, "No, like we have questions to ask him, and why? How come you're allowing this to happen?" And the guy who's like running his desk was like, mm, "No, we just can't talk today."
What questions were you going to ask him?
Well,
Anything like specific that you were just dying to ask him?
yeah, because he had been talking about how there was organized crime inside Minnesota, and if you're a state representative or you work for the government of Minnesota, by law you have to notify the authorities that there is laws being broken inside of your state, and he didn't do that. So there's like a statute that he's reliable to tell the government about, like a law, but he didn't do it. And he knew the crime was happening, but he kept letting it go on.
How do you know he knew?
Because he said in a press conference, organized crime is why some of this stuff has happened, and so he knew about organized crime, but he never did anything about it. So he admitted to it.
Do you think he's going to be held accountable? I mean, if you look at Polymarket, Polymarket's a whole lot of different percentages here, but will anybody be charged over daycare fraud in Minnesota by certain dates? Percentages make it look like it's definitely happening at some point, but what happens if nobody's been charged? 22% think that that we'll see somebody held accountable or charged for the daycare fraud. 22% by the end of the month in January, 76% say in 6 months, and 83% think it'll happen by the end of the year. Those are some of the most promising percentages I've seen. What do you think?
I think they will. It might take a little bit more time because I think we want them to come with all the evidence, so it's literally impossible for Tim to escape. Or whether it's Tim or Elon Omar, or if it's just one of the fraudsters who's running these daycares. We want the evidence to be so solidified that they can't escape. And so it might maybe take a little bit longer, but there has to be accountability because the fraud is so open and blatant. I mean, they already charged somebody for feeding our future. She was a white woman too, so this isn't about race. She was a white woman, she got charged. And then they also did charge somebody just a few months ago who was a Somalian for $7.2 million, 7.2 or 7.6 for Medicaid fraud. But after being charged and found guilty, the judge overturned it and let the guy walk.
What?
Yes. So that's how bad the government is inside of Minnesota. And so that's why it's so critical. By what I just did, not only did we expose fraud, but we also just exposed how corrupt and how that government is not working for the people, for the Minnesotans.
Yeah. Well, Nick, let me give you we're going to dive into this pretty deep. Let me give you an introduction here. Nick Shirley, a bold 23-year-old independent journalist who's taken the internet by storm with your fearless on-the-ground investigations. Known for exposing stories the legacy media won't touch, from immigration debates to government waste. Recent bombshell video uncovering alleged massive fraud in Minnesota's taxpayer-funded programs racked up over 126 million views. Literally broke the internet. A fearless patriot who goes to where the stories are, and you're the youngest guest I've ever had on this show. And once again, thank you for the hoodie. So, a couple of things, Nick. I'm worried about your safety. So, I got some buddies over at SIG. One of them's name is Jason, and he's the VP of marketing over there. I told him you were coming on the show. He's like, I fucking love that guy. You got to ask him if he's carrying, which I did. You're not. So now you are.
No way.
But so I got you a little something, me and Jason. Little something to protect yourself out there on the streets, the mean streets of Minnesota, Portland, San Francisco, Seattle, Paris. Well, you're probably not going to get it into Paris, but
No way.
So that is the Sig Sauer P365 Legion. Don't point it at yourself.
I know.
But it's unloaded, so you're good. Holds 17 rounds in the magazine plus one in the pipe, so that's 18 rounds. They got their brand new carry optic on there. a little red dot, and then if you look at the slits at the front of the barrel there, that's to help with your recoil management. But that is like that is the Cadillac of subcompact EDC guns, pistols. So
Whoa, thank you.
you're
Thank
welcome,
you.
man. You're
That means a lot,
welcome.
actually.
So,
I've never been gifted something like this, so thank you.
well, now you have. You're welcome.
This is pretty epic.
And if you think that's cool, you'll really think this shit's cool.
They, the gummy bears.
Vigilance League gummy bears, buddy. Legal in all 50 states, made right here in the USA and Michigan. Maybe you can hand those out to Somali toddlers that are in daycare.
Maybe. We could find them.
In the learning center.
Wow, thank you so much, Shawn.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. And then lastly, before we get on with the interview, I have a Patreon account. If you don't have one, you should. But I've turned this Patreon subscription account into quite the community. And so one of the things I do is I offer them the opportunity to ask every guest a question. They were fucking pumped that you're here. So this is from Brad Campbell. Nick, it takes courage to take on politics and politicians, especially when bringing potential fraud to the forefront. What was your personal motivation to move forward, to uncover, and what drove you to be so relentless? Lastly, do you have ambitions for other stories of similar involvement?
Yeah, I think when you see just the corruption, when it's just so obvious, for instance, with the border, I saw people literally get trafficked over into the United States. And now you're seeing people too afraid to call things out for what they are and enable fraud to happen inside their state. Meanwhile, Americans are suffering, and yet these politicians are too afraid to be called a racist or Islamophobe for saying that 89% of the population is committing fraud inside of their state. So I think it's just more so standing up for the people that actually represent you, and it's necessary because there needs to be somebody to do it. If it takes a 23-year-old to do it, that's my responsibility, is to show people what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have plans to go to other locations in other states, and I'm a YouTuber at the end of the day too, so I have to keep posting videos. Now it's a lot more dangerous. Right now I have 24/7 security with me because pirates are after me, essentially. I didn't piss off the best group to be pissing off.
Been there, buddy.
Yeah. So
it never goes away once it's here.
Now I have that, and it's just harder to plan stuff, but it's necessary, so I will continue to do it.
Good, man. Good. It's important. It's really important what you're doing. I am curious. Do you think you've inspired people? Have you seen, I hate to call them copycats, but I don't know what else to call them. I mean, are you inspiring? Are you seeing any people getting inspiration from what you're doing and getting out there and starting to uncover more and more stuff?
Yeah, I think usually I'm always kind of ahead of this stuff. So for instance, I was ahead of this fraud stuff, and now after you've seen other people go and do that, which is great, it is a little worrisome because you don't want just a bunch of people going knocking on daycares.
Mm-hmm.
I did all my due diligence with the man David before I went and did it.
Doesn't sound like you actually knocked on any daycares though.
Me? I mean, we've knocked on, we tried to talk to people, but no one was there.
If there's no kids, is it a daycare?
Yeah, well, that's true. There wasn't any daycares. It was just buildings.
Jeremy brought up a good point. He was talking about, I can't remember how many kids you have, but he's like, if you have 4 kids and I have 4 kids and I watch your 4 kids and you watch my 4 kids, there's 2 daycares. That's $25,000 a month per person.
Yes.
I was like, holy shit. Is that? So let's go to the very beginning. How did this pop up on your radar?
So I knew about the fraud happening because I went to Minnesota last June to do a video on the rise of Islam inside of America. And I had heard that it's growing super fast and that mosques are popping up everywhere inside Minnesota. Christian churches are turning into mosques. And I started talking to the people, and everyone kept telling me, well, you need to look into the fraud. And I said, well, how do I look?
Who's everybody?
All these Minnesotans, they started reaching out to me, and they knew I was in their state.
You just went up there to talk about the rise of Muslim church, the Muslim religion in Minnesota.
Yes.
And talking about churches being converted into mosques. I mean, was there a lot of that happening?
A lot of it, yes. I mean, there's entire communities that have been completely pushed out by the Somalian communities. Like there's places like Cedar Riverside, for instance, right next to a college. There used to be a bar there called Palmer's Bar. Last June it was there. I went back last week. It's not there anymore. They have entirely pushed out white people, or anybody that's not Muslim, or anybody who's not Somalian. They've pushed them outside of their communities.
What's it look like inside those communities? Is it clean?
No, it's not clean at all. You have
Is it safe?
No, it's not safe. In fact, in June, I was with my mom. She helps me film a lot of times. They jumped me and my mom. They jumped over me, grabbed my camera. They took it from me. And then my mom, she tried to go like all mama bear and like step in. I was like, Mom, stop. And so I actually kind of stopped bringing my mom with me after that because the Somalis tried to attack us and they're about ready to punch me and smash my camera. And then I had my mom coming after me, like trying to defend for myself. And I had to like get my mom out of the situation. And then I had this like 6'4" Somalian man with 3 other guys, and he's going in the back of his car to grab something, and my mom's freaking out, and I'm just trying to get my camera back, and then they finally give it back, and then they follow us all the way out.
No shit. So they're pissed that you're...
There's entire Somali gangs that control these locations.
What are the names of the gangs? Do you know?
I don't know the names of the gangs.
How big are the gangs?
I'm sure they're just friend groups, because that's what kind of gangs are in the United States for the most part. It's just a group of friends that walk around armed, like they're little militias. And whether it be 10 friends, 20 friends, 30 friends, or entire organization, it kind of varies depending on cities here in the United States. But there's entire just gangs. There's like, you can look it up on YouTube. There's gangs inside, like Somali wars going on inside of these areas.
Sleep affects everything. Your focus, your recovery, and how you show up day to day. That's why I've been paying a lot more attention to my nighttime routine lately and started using Beam's Dream Nighttime Cocoa. Beam is an American company that makes clean, science-backed products designed to help people perform at their best. Dream is their sleep formula, and it's loaded with ingredients your body actually needs to recover. Reishi, magnesium, apigenin, L-theanine, and melatonin, but dosed intelligently. What really surprised me was how enjoyable it is to use every night. Best of all, it tastes incredible. My favorite flavor is cocoa, but they've got plenty of options. I mix it up in my favorite mug and drink it about 30 minutes before bed for optimal results. Like I said, it tastes great, it's smooth, and it actually feels like part of my nightly routine now. If you've been struggling with sleep, this is an easy place to start, and right now, there's a great offer. For a limited time, I've got my listeners an exclusive discount of up to 50%. Go to shopbeam.com/SRS. Use my code SRS to get 50% off. This is the best discount Beam gives out. Black Friday sales are done, but my listeners are still getting 50% off. So remember to go to shopbeam.com/SRS. Use code SRS. With my code SRS, you can grab some Dream for just $32.50. That's about $1 a night for the best sleep of your life. Try it today. Want to stay up to date on all things SRS? You bet your ass you do. Our newsletter brings you the latest SRS news and critical updates. Get instant alerts on the newest episodes. Never miss a beat. Exclusive intel briefs from counterterrorism expert Sarah Adams. You've seen her many times on the show. She's going to give unfiltered insights on global terrorist activity. For Patreon exclusives, you're going to get epic range days with me and damn near every guest that's come in the studio. You're also going to get behind-the-scenes content and guest updates. You're going to get first dibs on new merch drops and limited edition items that will never be sold again. Plus, exclusive offers from our partners you won't find anywhere else. So subscribe to the Vigilance Elite newsletter right now. So who was telling you, you're going around looking at how Minnesota's changed, and everybody's telling you to look into the fraud. When did it start?
Yeah, so I put on my Instagram story that I was in Minnesota, and this lady by the name of Jennifer, she messaged me. She's like, I'm a real estate agent here. You wouldn't believe what's happening. Our property taxes are going up. they're putting in these daycares and these adult centers right next door to the house I'm trying to sell, and I can't even tell the seller, I can't even tell the buyer that the house next to it is a adult daycare center, or else I'll be breaking a law.
What, breaking a law?
Like, they're not able to let people know that. That's what she told me. They're not able to let people know that they're running these adult centers or these adult home health care facilities next door.
Breaking a law?
Yeah, like they cannot, and she's in the government, for instance, if a person is like a PDF or a predator, the state's not, it's not, it's not necessary for them to tell the neighbor next door that they're moving in, or that if that real estate agent is then selling that house, she can't tell the client who's living next door.
Holy shit.
And their property taxes have gone up a ton too in Minnesota. Like there's a lot,
Wow.
like the corruption's really
You
bad.
looked into that law? Is
Um,
that a law or was she mistaken?
I
'Cause if
just took
there's
her
a
for her
law
word.
that says you cannot disclose that there is daycare next, I've never heard of it. It's a commercial business,
Well, these are
not a,
private ones. They have like private daycares and private adult daycares, private home health cares, and like there's just normal houses, people living next door, and are taking care of 4 people that need their assistance, and they're just collecting
holy
checks from the government.
shit.
And that's not only happening in Minnesota and Washington State. There's all these just neighborhoods where there's just a random house that's a daycare or an adult daycare or assisted living or home health care.
How many of like, if you had to put a percentage on how many people knew this was going on up there, what would the percentage be?
At least 50% of the
Are you,
population.
so this is common scuttlebutt talk around the town, at the barber shop, and the restaurant. People are bitching about this in grocery store. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
This is like common knowledge. It's the rest of the country that didn't know.
Yeah.
So this is, police departments had to know about it. The governor, everybody knows about it.
Yes. I mean, Tim Walz said in 2019 he was fighting fraud. In 2017, there was videos of people bringing in millions of dollars through the TSA airport and moving that money back to Somalia. 2015, there's FBI footage of daycares giving cash to the moms inside the daycares. Like, that fraud's been happening for so long. But nobody had actually brought it to a national level, to the point where people could physically see with their eyes that there's nobody inside the daycares, and these people can't even give you a brochure to enroll a child. Like, okay, maybe it doesn't matter if a kid's in the daycare, but at least give me a brochure to enroll my little boy Joey so he could leer a little. But they can't even do it.
So hold. When did you make the switch? When did you go from looking at churches that converted into mosques to where did you start? Who's David?
So I did that video back in June. I was just there for 2 days. I couldn't really make a video. I didn't want to just go and slander a group of people if I actually didn't have any proof other than just taking it for people's word around the community. And so I've been doing my own research, trying to make this video, and it took me a couple of months. I wasn't really getting too far. Like, I needed the physical numbers from the state capitol. And then I randomly get this message from this guy named David on Instagram, and he says, "Nick, I have all the proof, all the money. Someone from inside the capitol has given me this information, and there's nobody inside these daycares. Come to Minnesota, and I'll help you expose the fraud." And I usually don't respond to DMs because I get so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, send me your number. Let's hop on a phone call. So I get down at the gym. I give this guy a call, and he is super charismatic, super cool guy. I was like, all right, this guy would be awesome. And he tells me all the information. And I tell him, all right, I'm coming to Minnesota around December 16th.
How many years has this guy been diving into this subject?
He's been looking at it for years, upwards of 7 years. And he's also been fighting corruption since he was around my age as well. Like, just fighting to keep he fought to keep the Twins inside of Minnesota, the baseball team. And so he's kind of been like a lifelong, like, he just wants the truth to be out more than anything. And I was the only person who actually gave him the opportunity to present his evidence and go out and do what we did. the local news, they have been reporting on fraud for years, but they're
They
not.
had been.
They had been, but they weren't able to get it pushed to a national level because these news organizations don't know how to
Holy
reach
shit.
new audiences. I mean, there's a video from 20.
So this is where the news always starts. It always starts at the local level.
Mhm.
It starts at the local level, and then it goes to mainstream. And so mainstream had to have seen this and refused to pick it up, and that's both right and left, by the way.
Yes, and Tim Walz was also selected to be vice president, and within just a day, he raised the most money than any other candidate in history.
Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can look that up. Kamala Harris picked him. There's actually really no reason to pick Tim Walz. Nobody really knew him. He's a weird guy who vouches for tampons in boys' bathrooms, and he ends up raising the most amount of money than any other candidate in U.S. history within a day for a campaign.
Where do you think that came from?
Maybe a little bit of the daycares. Like, yeah, it's just so obvious. And so I really do hope they crack down on it and like prosecute Tim Walz.
So where did you guys start? You and David. You go up to Minnesota. You meet David. Where do you go?
Meet David. I go to his office and he goes, "Well, I have these daycares just literally just right by my place where I work."
How many daycares are out there?
Oh, if you drive around Minneapolis, within just a few blocks, you'll start seeing adult daycares, autism centers, home health care places, transportation vehicles. Like the whole entire city of Minneapolis, like, is plagued by this fraud.
Are you serious?
You can't go a mile without finding one.
Wow.
And you'll wonder, why are there all these daycares?
How many did you go to?
Yeah, one day we went to 7, but inside of some of those locations, there were 3 or 4 inside of the same one. So
you went in one building. I think, wasn't there like 10 daycares in one building?
in one building, there was 14 healthcare companies. Another one, there's 22 healthcare companies mixed with daycares. And then in one building specifically, there were 3 daycares inside the same building, all receiving money from the government.
Okay, so when you're talking about these buildings, is this a business suite where you're in suite 102, you're in 103, you're in 104, or are there 3 daycares all within suite 102?
Both.
You got to be shitting me.
In my video, I go inside one building with I think it was 14, and they all have they had their own rooms. But for instance, in room 7C, there were 3 healthcare companies operating inside the same one. And if you're trying to make a profit, why would you have all these competitors surrounding you? It doesn't make any sense.
Because it doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't matter, and nobody's checking up on them. And even if they do get checked, for instance, Quality Learning Center, they have received over 90 violations over just the past few years, yet they keep giving them $1.9 million a year. And then the ladies has photos with her and Ilhan Omar. And then that same lady's also taking the mayor to her other daycare in a video. And then that guy who comes out and says that I'm the fraud is partying with the mayor of Minneapolis after he wins the election. It's just complete fraud. And for them to come after me, like, I actually never even gave my opinions on the internet. However, my hand was forced to start giving my opinions because they came after me. They came after my family. They doxed my entire family.
How did they come after you? Be specific.
Well, they tried to come after me. They tried to debunk all my whole entire story. They then...
Who's they?
All the news.
Would you just get more
CNN,
specific? CNN. Who within CNN?
CBS.
Who's the reporter?
I don't even know her name because she's irrelevant. Nobody knows who she is.
We'll put a clip of it up.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside, and there should be a way for somebody to actually be able to call that number and somebody be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a daycare.
There should be a reception.
No, every daycare is locked.
Their doors are locked.
And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being dropped off right now.
Yes. The Commissioner of Children literally said a week ago this place was closed.
Did you know
They're
that?
showing face right now. And she seemed like a very nice lady when I was talking to her. And I actually even gave her the opportunity to interview me live because she had her live booth right there. She wouldn't do it.
She wouldn't interview you.
Not live.
Why? I wonder why.
I wonder why. And so I knew as soon as I had done my interview with her, I was like, well, we'll see what she puts out. And I actually ended up looking very good because I said, well, yeah, I'm sure. I gave you guys the evidence. Go ahead and make your own analysis. But I did give her the opportunity to interview me live. She wouldn't do it. It was
so
insane.
I mean, oh man, legacy media has clung to the baby boomer generation, and they will fucking die with the baby boomer generation. We'll never change that generation's mind. They're bought and sold on legacy media, but they will fucking die with the baby boomer generation. It will be a glorious death.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I don't know who's even watching, who's going to continue to watch them after my grandparents are gone.
That's what I'm telling you. They're going to die with the baby boomer generation.
Like Fox News is probably the only one where I feel like they provide actually, like their show's a good quality show. If you watch CNN, it's very boring. Fox News at least keeps it interesting for you to watch. But it's going to be interesting too with Fox News. Like, will they eventually just drown out as well? I don't know. I feel like they're maybe doing a better job than other news organizations, but they also have their own biases as well. Each organization has their own bias, but like you watch CNN, it's so boring. If you watch MSNBC, a lot of their stuff's just on Zoom. But if you watch Fox, you'll notice how much higher quality it is. And if you get invited on, they treat you a lot better as far as like bringing you on. They like make sure you're good to go. They check you out. All these other ones are like, all right, hop on the Zoom, and okay, sound's going. And then after you finish your shot, they just like drop you. You don't even know what to do next. But Fox is the most professional by far.
You're leaps and bounds ahead of all of them, man. Congratulations.
I'd like to think so. Thank you.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty fucking awesome. And an embarrassment for every single one of them. So the first place you go to, how many times did you strike out before you actually found one?
We went to the first one, Mako Childcare, and Mako is also connected with another childcare inside the same building. So inside the same building, 2 daycare centers were receiving separate money. And I thought we were just going to go and open the door and talk to the lady at the reception about how can I enroll my child. And I get there and all the windows are completely blacked out. And above me, the sign says open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I ring the doorbell. The doorbell doesn't even work. What's going on? You guys just received millions of dollars, over $5 million the past few years. Who can I talk to? No one's there. And finally, a Somali pulls up, and I ask her, where are the children at? Where can we talk to somebody about enrolling our child? She goes, I don't know. She had never even seen him.
Do you know how much money has been sucked out of the Minnesota government for this stuff? Is this all state funding?
It's state and federal funding. So CCAP funding is Child Care Assistance Program, which is state and federal money. That's why you saw the HHS freeze $185 million in funding, because some of this money is federal money as well. But just over the past few years, the guy came out and he said anywhere of upwards of $9 billion.
$9 billion. We have people dying on the streets, homeless, veterans with a suicide epidemic, the biggest fentanyl crisis the world's ever seen, and we're fucking sending $9 billion to fake fucking daycare accounts so that they can send it right back to Somalia. We're sending $40 million a week, up to $87 million a week to the Taliban, which I fought for fucking damn near, well, about 14 years. And the country bought for about, 21, 22, 20-something years.
Yeah, it's a disgrace, and it's such a slap in the face of all of us.
It is. I mean, what do you think about? You've seen all the hype around this tax strike, haven't you?
Hmm.
What do you think about that?
I mean, what did the Boston Tea Party do? They did what they did over just a few percentages, and we're paying upwards of, some people are paying 50%. So obviously,
And none of it's coming back.
and none of it's coming
None
back.
of it's all going to some other country and some other fucking land, and it sure as shit isn't coming here. That's very obvious.
Yeah, and it's like, why are we funding this, and why are we funding all these other programs too? I mean, lots of moms are paying up 30 to 70 grand a year to put their kid in daycare center. Meanwhile, you don't see one single white person coming out of any of these daycares.
Do you think this tax strike's gonna? You think it's gonna spread?
I don't know. We'll see.
Do you want to see it spread?
I think it'd be cool, but I think they might arrest people. I mean, if you mess up on your tax bill, they're gonna put you in jail.
Well, they can't arrest all of us. Unfortunately, for people like us, you're going to get arrested. I'm going to get arrested, and anybody else with a microphone's going to get arrested. But
Yeah. But I hope maybe it makes the government listen and tells the people, like, tells them, okay, we got to figure this out. And I had a lot of respect for Elon and I understand why it was so hard for him to do what he was trying to do with Doge, because the fraudsters complained the loudest.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, he tried to do America such a service, and by going and cutting out some of this fraud, and what they do to him, they burned down his businesses, they attacked him, and they tried everything possible to try to stop the man.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. What do you think's going to have you seen the Minnesota government do anything yet other than Tim Walz
They're all very
drop out
upset.
of re-election?
They're all very upset. There are some people inside of Minnesota, for instance, there's a fraud committee, and they've labeled out, they've made it very obvious. They have the charts of who's getting the money and everything like that. And with the HHS freezing the money, all these businesses have the opportunity to prove they're legit. As of now, not a single business has submitted to prove that they're a legitimate business. If you had children to feed, how quick would you be submitting your form to get your money back? You'd be doing it immediately.
How are the mainstream media outlets attacking you? What are they saying? What are they doing?
You'll notice the first thing they say is MAGA YouTuber, right-wing influencer, conservative,
That's the first thing they do is put you in a bucket.
anything but journalist. They'll say quite literally anything. 23-year-old. I'm like, okay, cool. I just did a better job than you at 23. But they'll try to say conservative, MAGA, Trump. It's like, no, I just showed you guys the facts.
All the buzzwords.
Yeah. It's actually pretty funny because I'm like, you guys are so stupid. You have the opportunity to maybe show people you're a little bit more legit.
Yeah.
Instead, you're taking the
They don't
fraudulent
take the bait.
daycares. Yeah, they're taking the bait.
It's so awesome. They're gonna die on that hill. I can't fucking wait. We got about maybe 20 years left before they're completely fucking dead.
Yeah, I agree.
But well, what else are they? Because I thought they were calling you racist, all that kind of stuff too.
Tim
Bust
Waltz.
out the race card.
Yes.
Real original.
Yes. Tim Waltz has called me a white supremacist. He's called me a delusional conspiracy theorist.
Are you a white supremacist?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
How do you know?
I just know.
Okay.
I'm not a white supremacist.
All right.
I got black friends too.
Right on. Me too.
So for them to say that, it's just like,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, they're trying to do everything they can. For instance, by calling me a MAGA influencer, calling me a right-wing influencer, calling me they say anti-immigration, which yes, I am anti-illegal immigration. The word's illegal. Anti-Islam. Then they call me conspiracy theorist. They're trying to do everything. They call me a fascist. They're calling me Nazi. They're trying to do everything they can. So when the moment somebody tries to do something, it's justifiable for them.
Man, it's actually, I hate to say it like this, but it's actually kind of cool that they've gone through every derogatory name that they can think of, and they've abused it so much that none of it holds any weight anymore.
None of it. It really
Nazi
doesn't.
holds no weight. Racist holds nothing holds any weight because they've overused, they have over abused all of the buzzwords. They mean nothing now. Which also sucks because somebody that actually is a fucking racist, it's not going to carry the same weight because it's just like the little boy that cried wolf story.
Yes.
It's like you've done it so much that nobody fucking listens anymore.
Somebody told me once, the moment somebody calls you a Nazi is the moment you can discredit them for whatever they're about to say next.
Yeah,
How can you call me a Nazi?
it's a damn good point. It's a damn good point.
That's just how misconstrued some of these people's minds have become.
What would you like to see happen?
One, accountability, and you'd like to see people be happy that you just showed fraud.
Hmm.
And you wouldn't want to see people out there defending it.
Who else do you think needs to be held accountable other than Waltz? There's got to be a lot more people.
Oh yeah, all the people inside DHS who are cutting the checks. The judge, for instance, that one judge who let the guy walk free of $7.2 million in Medicaid fraud. You'd like the Somalis to go out and say, okay, 89% of the fraud being committed by us is 89% of the fraud being committed in Minnesota is by us Somalians. Let's talk. Let's figure out how to not commit so much fraud.
Hmm.
And they'll even say it in my video in part 2 I have coming out. They're like, are we the only community that commits fraud?
It's a great defense. Do you follow Nick Fuentes at all?
Yeah.
He just posted this. Fuentes posted, all of the complaining about Somalians will result in nothing. No mass arrests, no mass deportations, nothing transformative. We all know that. What do you think about what he's saying there? Part one, when you hear that, what do you think is actually happening? Do you think he actually has a point there?
I think you're seeing the government. They've never done anything. They've never launched a full investigation, multiple investigations within just a few hours of a video being released. So right now, yeah, the Trump administration has a lot of things on their hands. Right now, they have Venezuela. They had the whole entire Epstein screw up. That looked really bad. And you're having mass deportations, and they might not be deporting as many people as people would like. I just threw them the biggest layup ever. If they really wanted to go in and get everyone back on board, this is a great opportunity for them. So they better go and do it.
I hope they do. I hope they do. You're 23 and you've watched how fast your own reporting could move online. Why is Fuentes able to gain traction with young audiences? And what does that tell you about how Gen Z decides who to trust now?
Yeah, Nick Fuentes, he's extremely entertaining to watch. He's actually like a comedian when he talks. He's pretty funny. And you can't say he's not. If he wasn't, millions of people wouldn't be watching him. Now, do you agree with everything he says? No. Do you agree with everything Dave Chappelle says? No. Is there some truth that Nick Fuentes is saying? Yes.
What about you?
I'm saying
You've
the
got
truth.
millions and millions of people. I think the question is, what is it about you guys that Gen Z is just going nuts over?
Yeah.
It's this raw, real,
Well,
for you, in the weeds. It's just shit that nobody's doing anymore.
yeah. And growing up, you were very... It's hard to go out and say what you want because you're worried about people coming after you. And so when you have people like Nick Fuentes who are just saying things as he wants to say them, people are going to get attached to that. And for me, if I'm going out and showing people things for what they really are, and I'm not censoring people out of the conversation, people are going to like that because they want that realness, because they want to feel represented. They don't want to feel like they're having one conversation with their friend in the car and then they have to go at the dinner table and have a different conversation.
Do you think, I'm curious to hear, do you think Gen Z is as tribalized as the older generations, or is Gen Z solely interested in just the truth? They're just so tired of all the bullshit from both sides. They're just interested in actual factual information, not opinion pieces, not any of that, just facts and people with the courage to put it out there.
I would say once they graduate high school and they realize how hard real life really is to make real money and to be able to get into a house and to be able to provide for yourself, yes. Like they just want the truth, cut and dry. That's why you see so many of them kind of either feeling very defeated or people are actually rising up to the battle that we're facing. Because a lot of these kids are starting their life behind the starting line. They go to college, the bank will give them $100,000 loan. They start their life off $100,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people are wondering, well, why actually are we doing that? And that's why, whether it be Nick Fuentes or whether it be Charlie Kirk, we're all kind of trying to share the same message at the end of the day, that go chase the American dream because you're capable of doing it. Question yourself. Question the people you listen to. Like Nick, we all serve our own roles in this atmosphere of politics or just commentary. Your role is different than my role. Nick Fuentes' role is different than me and yours. My role is to show people what's happening from the ground. The news is to try and show people whatever they're trying to do. And then you have people like Charlie Kirk who's going to talk to the kids to colleges. You have people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens who are stirring up the pot. And then you have people on CNN. I don't even want to say their names because I don't even want to give them credit. But they're also stirring up the pot on that side. And there needs to be a way where we can all kind of come together in a common ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Gen Z is kind of looking for, is just kind of to feel represented in a way where they have some hope.
So you're saying they want to see the bickering stop and results start to happen?
Yeah. I would say, like, we just want to have the same opportunities that our parents or grandparents had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of kids aren't getting married,
Mm-hmm.
myself included. I'm 23. I'm not in no rush to get married, but a lot of people just feel like, wow, why would I get married when I can't even get into a house and I'll be suffering with my wife and living in some junky apartment?
That's what it is, huh?
Yeah. It's like you see the TikToks of, I love the TikToks of like the old America when you see just people out in the street with their family and their kids and the epic music, the American flags. And then I hate when I see the next the next scene is when you're seeing just people strung out on fentanyl on the street corners, and you're seeing people getting in battles over race and religion. It's just like, that's not what this is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick, let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's dive into some of the other stuff you've uncovered. Listen up. 2026 is the year you finally launch that business you've been dreaming about. Don't let February arrive with the same old story. Taking action is the key. Let this be the year you become an entrepreneur or founder. One move puts your future in your hands. Starting a business with Shopify. Maybe it's an idea you can't shake, a craft everyone tells you to sell, or a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you make it real. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have made this leap. Take me as an example. I started using Shopify to sell gummy bears, and now I run my entire e-commerce business on the platform. And you can too. You get the tools to easily build your dream store, customize a beautiful template, launch quickly, and use Shopify's built-in AI to write product descriptions and headlines. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. More orders, new markets, all from one dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/SRS. Go to shopify.com/SRS. That's shopify.com/SRS. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side. We talk a lot on this show about protecting your family and being prepared for the worst case scenario. But there's one area of protection that a lot of us, myself included, for a long time tend to procrastinate on, and that's life insurance. I've had term life insurance for several years now, and I remember the exact moment I realized I needed it. It was right around the time my son was born. I started thinking about the mortgage, the kids' education, and all the expenses I'd want covered if the unthinkable happens and I'm not here to provide for them anymore. But having a plan in place is what actually allows you to breathe easier. If you've been putting this off because you think it's too expensive or too much of a hassle, you need to check out Fabric by Gerber Life. Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance you can get done today. Made for busy parents like you, all online, on your schedule, right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required. A lot of people assume their work-life insurance is enough, but most policies don't provide nearly enough coverage and don't follow you if you leave your job. Fabric offers affordable, high-quality life insurance like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day. Fabric is partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by families just like yours for over 50 years. And Fabric is rated excellent on Trustpilot with over 1,900 five-star reviews. There's no risk. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can cancel at any time. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/Shawn. That's meetfabric.com/Shawn. MEET fabric.com/Shawn. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. All right, Nick, we're back from the break. I got a correction to make. Apparently, the media did cover this a little bit. You already said that some of the local media covered it, but I guess the New York Times also covered it early on. But I've seen them be a lot more persistent with a variety of other topics. You would think this one would be right at the top of the list. But anyways, so just had to correct myself there. I hate putting out bad info. But we were talking about all the people that rallied around the video.
Yes.
How fast did that happen?
I posted the video, I go to the gym, and I get on X, and I didn't even have time to start posting clips because everyone else had started posting clips of the video. I was like, oh, I got something here. Because to me, that was just a normal weekly upload. Because I've been doing a weekly upload every week for more than 104 weeks. And so I'm seeing the video go mega viral while I'm working out with my brother. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? Like, I got to get back and post my video because I hadn't even posted on X yet.
Oh, man.
I was like, I have to go post it before somebody else does. So I hurry, go home, and I post the video. And then within just a few hours, just boom, boom, million. And then Elon retweets it. And then JD retweets it. Not only do they retweet it, they then quote it. And then not only do they just retweet it, then they come back to the retweet and they interact with it.
Wow.
And so you have the biggest account in the world, Elon Musk. He's the biggest platform on X. He's retweeting the video. Then he's also interacting with it. He's saying stuff like prosecute Tim Waltz. You have JD Vance saying this dude has done more than all the other people who won the, I think it's called like the Pulitzer Prize or something like that. And then you just had all these big accounts interacting with it, and then you just have the overall general American population. It's so funny because people are like, oh, is this an inside job? I'm like, no. It got shared by over 240,000 Americans also retweeted this video.
240 billion?
40,000.
Shit.
And so it's like when people say like, are you, that's insane numbers for X. Like, and then over 600 and something thousand people watched it. Or no, 600,000 people liked it. And it got over 135 million views.
Wow. Wow.
Most viewed video by anyone whose name is not Mr. Beast on a video over 10 minutes long.
Wow. And for a damn good reason. You know, I've heard a lot of the internet trolls out there saying that there's a possibility that you're some type of an internet plant. What is this? What's that all about?
Been uploading videos since I was 15 years old. Consistency and hard work.
What's the rumor? Are you even aware of this?
There's so much stuff, but like I know people are like, oh, who's putting him in here? How's he getting this? How's he doing that? I'm like, I'm just outworking you guys.
Yeah.
Like if you've made a YouTube video for 100 weeks and you have big videos, you have ones that don't do so well, you're gonna hit eventually.
It's funny how everybody makes it seem like you just fell right into success, isn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So of course you have to be a plant. Well, let's talk about some of the other stuff that you've done.
Done a lot of stuff.
I know you have, man. Let's start in California.
Yeah, so California, it's probably like the worst managed state in America. Like the fraud's bad in Minnesota, but California could even be worse.
What'd you see over there? I mean, you're out. I mean, it's like you're everybody's eyes and ears, you know. And so I don't go to California. I have no business there. Have no reason to be there. Or don't want to be there. But you know, I see all the stuff on the news about people raiding. You know, they're raiding whatever Target stores and all kinds of shit. The fentanyl crisis, is it as bad as is the media makes it out to be?
Yeah, California, it is as bad as the media makes it out to be. You have just inside of Beverly Hills alone, you have homeless people sleeping outside of mansions. Like literally within just a few blocks, you have homeless people setting up their own homeless encampments in the street. You're walking across poop. Like this isn't an exaggeration. Like I've done it. I've shown people what's happening. You obviously have Skid Row there. That's been a big issue for years.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have $24 billion that just went missing for the homeless, that went unaccounted for.
What?
Have you not heard about that?
No.
Over $24 billion went unaccounted for to fight
Are you
homelessness.
saying million or billion with a B?
Billion with a B.
$24 billion went missing?
Just went missing. And meanwhile, Gavin Newsom's buying a $9 million mansion in the Bay Area.
Did he really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I gotta start putting some allegedlys out there so
Yeah.
they can't come after me, but allegedly he bought a $9 million mansion.
Shit.
And so the corruption's bad there between the homelessness. I mean, the homeless people literally get handed to them the needles, the paraphernalia, the rubber bands. They even get handed out to them the crack pipes to do their drugs. And then they'll be like, okay, here's this. And then here's some Narcan in case you kill yourself.
Oh, in Maine, they're handing out free boofing kits.
Yeah.
You know what a boofing kit is?
No, what is a boofing kit?
Oh, man.
I have
I've
an
been
idea.
waiting for somebody to ask me this because I didn't know what it was when Steve Robinson told me what a free boofing kit was. I said, what's a boofing kit? It's like, it sounds like some type of a balloon that you
Really?
put the fentanyl in and then you just shove it up your ass.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Dang.
because it's for when your veins are so fucked up that they can't take any more heroin or fentanyl. You just put it in this little capsule and
Whoa.
shove it up there. New effect.
Dang, yeah, that fentanyl, that Fetty be hitting
You
people.
haven't seen any boofing kits out in your adventures, have you?
No, I have not
tried any of that
documented
stuff?
anybody putting up their bum. That could, I'd maybe get
Yeah, so now there you go, Nick. And
Now I'll be looking up
You
boofing.
learned something today. Now you can go to Maine and get a free boofing kit to inject your fentanyl with.
I hear Maine's an interesting place.
It sounds like it, isn't it?
It really does.
I've been up
think
there
I need to
many
go.
times.
Really? I
Yeah.
think I need to go and do
It's
it.
actually a beautiful state. You should go check it out.
I imagine it's much
and then-
like Washington State.
I haven't been there.
Really?
How would you see in Washington?
Washington?
What's your favorite place that you frequent, Nick?
Oh, my favorite place. Well, I don't know, because I'm going to a lot of like the belly, the beast places. Seattle's really bad. Really, really bad.
Worse than Cali? What's the worst? What's the one that you thought was like, shit, I didn't know it was bad. I didn't think it was this bad.
Kensington, Philadelphia.
Really? Let's go there. What are you seeing there?
You have this entire community, and it is just actually zombies. Like the people are so hooked on the drugs that they could care less about what's going on, and they're just slumped in the Fetty fold. It's the most tragic thing to see ever because you just see all these people. You can go and have conversations with these people. A lot of them are really good people, nice people, but they just got hooked on fentanyl.
How? How did they get hooked? What kind of conversations are you having with them?
Yeah, so a lot of these people there got hooked on drugs when they got injured in an accident, and then they were maybe heroin addicts, and then they just tried fentanyl once. And because fentanyl is 50 times more powerful than heroin,
Mm-hmm.
by the time they want to switch back to heroin, because fentanyl is so powerful, heroin doesn't do anything to them. And so they end up just living out on the street looking for the next hit. And what's interesting is people want to talk about, oh, how Joe Biden was like, the border wasn't a big deal. Well, people in Trump's first term, I talked to a man in San Francisco who's on drugs. He said when in Trump's first office, it cost about $15 for a fentanyl pill because there's multiple different ways to take fentanyl. So for a blue, it was $15. Joe Biden gets into office, they open up the borders, it costs the addict only $5 for a hit.
Shit.
And so in places like Kensington, Philadelphia, where it's also a liberal city, they just have enabled it to happen. And meanwhile, you have little kids getting off of the train, having to walk over dead bodies.
Are you shitting me?
Not a joke. And the little kids are like laughing about it. They're like, yeah, one time my friend came up and he just punched one of the guys and he had no idea what happened. And so like for these little kids to live in these communities, it's just like a part of it, which is sad. Like that should not be happening.
Sad as fuck, man.
Yeah, it's actually sickening. And so
This
that's
is like the shit I saw overseas that I never wanted to. Wow.
Yeah, America.
It's that bad. Little kids are walking past dead bodies, kicking them and punching them, and joking about it.
Mhm.
Like that means this is an everyday.
Watched
It's every day. That's not these kids walked over that one day. This is every day.
every day. Watched a little kid in San Francisco walk over a dead body with his mom, and his mom's grabbing him. The little kid's freaking out. Meanwhile, the guy's passed out and overdosing on fentanyl. The addicts are around him, like, "What do we do? What are you doing? What are you doing? What do we do?" And then I'm having to run over to go get a person to try to give him Narcan, and all the addicts are freaking out, not knowing what to do, and their friends dying on the ground. And that happens every single day in every major city in America, and whether it's San Francisco or Kensington, Philadelphia, that shouldn't be happening. Like,
Did you save that guy?
no, you couldn't. I mean, I ran over, grabbed the guy, and he did give him Narcan. And by that time, all the addicts had pushed me out because I had my camera, and they were so angry at me for having my camera that I didn't get to see what happened to the guy.
Damn, man.
But so, like, I had to run over and get the guy to give him the Narcan. And then the addicts, they're so delusional in their brain because all they're thinking about is the next hit, that they ended up moving me out of the area, and then I don't know what happened to the guy.
Are they threatening you? I mean,
They're so out of it, they're just yelling and stuff. Like these addicts, like you used to think like homeless people when you're younger, like actually homeless people when I was younger, it was like, oh my gosh, like let's help this guy.
Yeah.
I remember giving him $10 when we'd leave the Jazz Stadium after going to the basketball game and giving the homeless guy $10 and you'd wish him a good night. But now these guys are just on fentanyl, just slumped, moving back and forth. And they don't even care what happens.
I mean, when you're talking about all of the rest of the addicts, you know, we're up in arms about this guy getting ready to overdose and die. I mean, how many addicts are we talking here?
Probably 10 of them all around him. Because they all just get in this little circle. And there's multiple ways to do fentanyl, whether they're taking the blue or if they're lighting it on foil and just smoking the fumes. They're all just right next to each other.
As we close out the year and look ahead to 2026, I'm putting real focus on my personal and business goals. And one of them is building the right team. If you want to grow, you need great people in the right roles. And anyone who's hired knows how hard it is to find top-tier talent. ZipRecruiter makes it easy. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/SRS. When you're trying to achieve those big 2026 goals for your company, you need to be able to identify those qualified candidates from a huge pool of applicants. Thankfully, there's a place you can go that can help you conquer these challenges and achieve your hiring goals. ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's matching technology works fast to find top talent, so you aren't wasting critical time or money sorting through applications. And once you post, you can find out right away how many job seekers in your area are actually qualified for your role. That level of efficiency is why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Let ZipRecruiter help you find the best people for all of your roles. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to this exclusive web address right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/SRS. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/SRS. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Feels pretty good, right?
Shawn, real quick, where can people keep watching?
Patreon, baby.
Nice. 3 for 3.
Nice.
We started off really bad, but thank you, Coach. We're doing better.
You're welcome. We got quite the learning center here.
We're learning a lot out here.
How do you strike a conversation with them?
Usually they're pretty nice. They're not really looking for anything. They're just sitting there doing their drugs, and you just go up and say, how are you doing? We're wondering if we could just ask you a few questions. What got you into this, and how long have you been out here for? And usually they're pretty happy to tell somebody their story. Because I try not to pay people for interviews. A lot of people walk around with $5 bills, and I don't like doing that. If someone's going to talk to me, they'll talk to me. And if I have to pay them, and then the interaction's not the same. So I always try not to pay people.
What else are you learning from these people?
Just the fact that they're somebody else's son, daughter. And you do see, like, I think there's potential in these people if you could get them off the drugs. A lot of these people don't have any potential left in them because...
I know there's potential. My best friend fucking got killed by that shit. He was a Navy SEAL and then contracted with the CIA with me. One of the brightest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, there's so many people like it, and that's why I get so mad when I see these politicians getting so mad at Trump for trying to do something about it, or for killing a narco boat. I don't care if they killed that narco boat because American people are dying. I've seen it with my own eyes. And that's also why I don't respect the left-wing media at all, whether it be the TikTokers, YouTubers. They never leave their desk. All they are is just talking points. Meanwhile, I'm going out there, and because I'm going out there, they label me as a MAGA or conservative. No, I'm talking to the person strung out on fentanyl. I'm talking to the protester. I'm talking to the president.
You consider yourself to be MAGA?
Yeah, I support Donald Trump. I think right now you kind of you have to decide. All right, maybe if you don't 100% agree with Trump, and when I say I'm talking to Trump, I'm saying like with my briefing I gave to him. I've never talked to him behind closed doors or anything like that. But yeah, I support Trump because I think what he's doing, he doesn't really have, there's not really a reason why you not to support him if you believe in what he's trying to do for America. And the opposite would have been Kamala Harris. And so you have to kind of pick and choose your battles with Trump. Did he totally mess up on the Epstein stuff? Yes. Is that something that's hard to look past? Yeah. Is there probably something weird going on there? Yeah. But is there big issues with drugs inside the United States, with illegal immigration, affordability? Why are other countries tariffing us and we can't tariff them back? I think you just have to pick your battles, and if you want to succeed, you have to at least be supportive of somebody and also be critical at the same time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think people need to really align themselves with the values and not with the individual. That's what it should be. It should be, I agree and I align with this initiative, not who's putting this initiative out. Well, then I can't fucking support it.
Yeah, it's actually crazy because just think about what happened with Maduro. Biden actually had a $25 million bounty out for Maduro.
Did he really?
Yes, Biden and Kamala did.
No shit.
They put out a 25 bounty during Biden's presidency. And so then Trump goes in. So far, no casualties have been said that we know about. He goes and captures Maduro. And then the left comes out advocating for Maduro. Like, what are they doing? And meanwhile, Venezuelans are celebrating all across the world because they've finally been liberated. Over 7 million people left Venezuela because of Maduro. It is the largest exodus of a group of people in
Since California.
since California.
In New York.
Yeah. And so I just can't side with anything the left's doing right now. Like, I can't side with any of their leaders. I can't side with anything that they're pushing because I don't think they have America's best interest in heart.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people have felt that for a pretty long time. But where else did you go?
In El Salvador.
How was that?
Secot. Very cool. I'm the first ever American to do it.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Damn, Nick.
It was crazy.
Fucking killing it, man.
I don't even know how I got that
How
opportunity.
you getting in your? How did you get your way into there?
I went to El Salvador because I was doing videos on illegal immigration, and I was trying to join a caravan to go up and go from middle Central America up to Mexico. And I was looking at the map and I thought, oh, they have to pass through El Salvador. And I get to El Salvador and I'm like, okay, where are the migrants at? I'm trying to join a caravan. I'm talking to locals because I speak fluent Spanish, and they're like, oh, we don't have migrants here. I'm like, what do you guys mean? This is like perfect spot for the map for them to cross over. They're like, no, we don't have them here.
We're not migrants till we get to your country, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what's going on? And they're like, wait, we actually have people coming back from America. I'm like, what's going on? And then everyone starts telling me about Naive Bukele and about Secot. And so I get there, my whole entire video has to shift. And I make a video about how this country has kind of solved illegal migration. And I ended up interviewing one of the mayors. And from there, I just kept being super persistent about messaging any account I could possibly get my hands onto on X that had anything to do with the government. If I could just find somebody to give me that contact to then message to go inside Secot. And I eventually just some random person said, this is the number of the secretary. And I messaged the press secretary of El Salvador, and she said, oh, no, not right now. Message me again in a month. Message her again. She says, oh, not right now. Message me again in a little bit. And I finally messaged her like 6 months later, and she's like, all right, here's your date to come inside Secot. We'll see you there. Boom. That was my big break.
Nice. How was it in there?
Crazy.
What'd you learn?
The people advocating for those people need to really question who they're advocating for. But the moment you walk in there, you just feel like any sense of goodness in your body just leave. And your body is just filled with emptiness. And then you look at the prisoners in their eyes, they're completely empty. They're hopeless. Whatever had possessed them had taken control, and they had been defeated. And they just look at you with this blank stare of just like nothingness. Like you look into their eyes and nothing. You start walking around there and you just feel like literally nothing. And then you look at their tattoos. They're just from top to bottom, just full of MS-13, Barrio 18. And then they're like, no, Nick, you can't interview anybody. I was originally set to interview one of the prisoners. And then they're like, we're running behind time and we can't interview them, but we're going to ask the guys to take off their shirts so you can see all their tattoos. And so I get like pretty close to almost face to face with one of these guys. I'm like, are you still proud to be a gangster? He's like, yeah. I was like, wow, we really, and then other guys in the back were just like, we messed up. But some of those people killed hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just very eerie. There's no lights. Very eerie to look at those guys in the eyes. And those guys, they have no darkness. It's always lit up in that room. It's just like a Costco, essentially, with prison cells. And the lights stay on 24/7. They eat the same meal every single day. They get no protein. Like they get no meat, like no pork or chicken. All they get is a tortilla, rice, and beans. I think they get like yogurt or milk. And so these guys are just like hopeless. They got no books. All they can do for a workout is once a day they get to take them out. They go do their toe touches, push-ups, sit-ups, and they're all in white. And then they either get to do that or they get to listen to some preacher inside of that prison. But those guys deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
They killed and made it so families couldn't go from street to street to go visit their other family members.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting to see that, and it was very cool to see how then you leave there. You leave there, then you go out to the streets of El Salvador, and people are just so excited to be living normal lives because for years they couldn't go out and go to the next neighborhood. They couldn't go out and hang out with their neighborhood. So it's like the first time you've seen this group of people, a lot of these people in years, that they've never had that feeling of freedom.
Wow.
Very cool.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah.
How about Paris?
Paris?
What did you see in Paris?
Well, in Paris, I got attacked by scammers. The scammers there are rampant. I mean, I wasn't expecting too much of Paris. All of Europe's kind of messed up right now, just due to the facts of mass migration, and they're just very leftist there. So Paris, I wasn't expecting too much, but I didn't expect it as soon as I got off the subway just to see a bunch of scammers running down into the subway. It was kind of wild.
What was it?
All these African migrants from Senegal and from East Africa, they go to Paris and they start selling these Eiffel Towers, and it's just this big scam. They're all working together on this, and you show a camera there, they freak out. And I brought my mom with me on this one too, and it's so funny because I brought my mom and I have her like kind of like acting as like the bait to go talk to some of these scammers, and the African scammers, they got just so mad when I was just filming, and the guys came up to me, and these guys are big. They're like 6 foot. They got big muscles. I'm like getting them off, moving around, like, nope, get over here, get away. And then you also have the gypsies who are trying to get money from donations. And while they're trying to get money from donations, they got somebody who's trying to pickpocket you. And this is at the Eiffel Tower,
Mm-hmm.
one of the largest tourist destinations in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just let it get controlled by scammers, overtaken by scammers,
Man,
by foreign scammers that aren't even French.
what did you go there for?
To do a video on immigration inside of France to see what was going on, because people kept telling me it was bad, and it was bad. I mean, the scammers, one, they had taken over there, and then entire, I think they call it districts in Paris, were Paris people had been pushed out. The French people had been pushed
Did you
out.
talk to anybody over there?
Yeah, I did.
What were they saying?
They're mad too, because they're like, us French, we can't even get houses here in Paris. But they put the migrants in the houses here in Paris. And how can anybody say this is good for us? So it's just, and then in Europe, you go to.
Is there anybody that's on the opposite though? Is there anybody that is like, yeah, we want this. We want all these people here.
Yes.
There is.
Yes.
Okay.
In my video, I speak with I meet up with this guy. He's kind of like a local journalist in the area. He kind of takes me around, and then it's always the white liberals who are sympathetic to this mass migration, and they're sympathetic to criminals. And I'm talking to this girl who's in a college, probably, and we're right next to this migrant camp where all these migrants are just living underneath of the highway. And I say, do you think it's good to bring do you think illegal immigration's good? Something along like the lines of that. She goes, yeah, we're all migrants in our own way. I'm like, so this is good? She's like, yes. And meanwhile, this is all happening. In illegal migration, it's one of the most inhumane things, not only for the people who are originally from that country, but from the migrants they bring over. A lot of these people get trafficked over. A lot of them get assaulted. A lot of them lose all their money. A lot of them never see their family again.
Mm-hmm.
Yet these politicians want to keep walking them in. In fact, the EU is fining countries like Poland and Hungary for not accepting migrants. So it's all this coordinated attack on Western civilization.
What would you say the percentage of people that are pro-migrant versus anti are in France?
I think it's getting probably more towards 50-50. Because people originally, just like in Minnesota, people were acceptance of the refugees. They're happy to take in Somalians from the war-torn country. But then they start imposing their cultures. They start taking away what was once the life of the people from that area, and they don't feel like it's their town anymore. They don't feel like they're the ones being represented. So people are waking up. That's why you also saw 3 million people go out to the streets of London
Mm-hmm.
to stop mass migration.
You gonna head over there? Did you go there?
Yeah.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there for that.
How was that?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
What are those people saying?
They want their country back.
How are they gonna get it back?
I don't know.
You know what's interesting about UK is I just don't see anybody speaking up about anything except our buddy Jay Cal.
Yeah,
Who
well,
I
they
interviewed.
imprison them.
What's that?
They imprison them, like Tommy Robinson.
That's why I'm asking you, you know?
Yeah.
How are they going to do anything?
Yeah, because I mean, they're throwing people in jail for tweets. Like every day, more than 10 people are getting put in jail for putting tweets out, putting posts on X. And they've tried to imprison Tommy Robinson multiple times. And you might not like Tommy Robinson. He might not have a perfect past. But man, that guy knows what he's talking about. When he saw his siblings and his family members getting raped by Muslim grooming gangs, and he spoke out against it, and the government tried to hide it, the exact same thing we just saw in Minnesota. They're too afraid to be called racist and Islamophobes for the fraud that was happening.
Yeah.
And then they try to go and imprison Tommy Robinson, not just once, but they've done it multiple times. They put him in solitary confinement for more than 100 days for showing people what was happening inside his country.
Man.
And I know why it's happening,
Why is it happening?
just for purely votes and to keep people in power. And it's also, I kind of knew this was gonna happen in the United States after I'd gone to Europe a couple of times to do videos on what was happening, because Tommy Robinson, I had a sit down interview with him. He goes, the reason why the Labour Party, the Democrat Party in the UK, the reason why they're able to stay in power is because they'll tell these Muslims they can go ahead, do whatever they want. A Muslim actually should be more conservative than they would be a liberal, because they don't stand for a lot of that progressive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not pro-LGBTQ+, they're pro-family, right? And so he goes, well, it doesn't matter to them because they have Sharia law. So that's above anything. And so if somebody goes to that mosque where 1,000 people go, they tell the mosque leader, we're going to let you guys do whatever you want. Just make sure you guys vote for us. So then when it comes day to vote, the leader of the mosque, everyone in the mosque will then go to the voting centers and go vote for that candidate. That's why in London, the mayor's Muslim, a lot of the towns around it are Muslim as well, and they actually have courts that are practicing Sharia law. And so I kind of knew that was going to happen inside of America as well. You have Mandami, for instance. Another thing Mandami advocated for when he was running was making childcare more affordable. What do we know about childcare now? These daycare centers, they're complete frauds. And so I kind of knew what was going to start happening. Now you're kind of starting to see it happen here in America. And now after they kind of forced my hand to start giving my opinion, which I wasn't doing, they asked for it. People are loving it now that I'm kind of speaking out against stuff. But I was originally just going to keep asking people questions, but now they've kind of turned my journalism into activism in a way where you forced my hand. Now I'm compelled to do this now.
Be careful. Don't let them force you into something that you think they don't want you to do.
Like what?
Like what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
They'd rather have an activist than a competitor. I can tell you that much right now.
well, I don't think sharing facts is wrong.
I don't either. I think what you're doing is amazing. I'm just telling you, be careful.
Yeah. I mean,
They will manipulate you into doing something that you think they don't want you to do. You do it to piss them off, and then they fucking have you where they want you. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
I do need to be a little bit more careful. And it kind of stinks that I'm only 23 years old. Like, dang, I got a lot more life to live. I got like at least 3 more of my life to live.
Well, think about how much more wisdom you'll have when you're my age, because you started at 23.
Yeah,
You know
very
what I mean?
true.
So, but what do you got coming up next, Nick?
Got a lot more stuff coming. But
I got
it's kind of a
something
bad
for you.
question. Or what? Bad answer, my bad.
Very early on this, but I've been hearing a lot of grumblings that a lot of these Dominion voting machines and the election fraud is coming from Venezuela. Have you heard this?
Uh-uh.
I'm going to send you some stuff. Maybe you can dig in. I'm getting ready to dive in on that, I think. and could be a huge, huge story.
Really.
I don't know if it's legit. I've just been hearing grumblings, so we're
I
just.
would like to go to Venezuela.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll go together.
Do you want to go? I'm down.
I might.
I don't know how we do it now, but I think it'd be a great video. The Venezuelan people are they're very good people. Like some of the best people I've met. Because I did like this 2-year mission trip for our church. A lot of people I'd spend my time with were migrants from Venezuela, and they were just like some of the nicest people I'd ever met.
Really?
Yeah, I remember I had spent time with this one family, and when I left, the whole entire family was just bawling because I just spent so much time with them. And like I called them once they captured Maduro, and they're all crying, they're all like celebrating. And meanwhile, you have liberals in the street calling for Trump for him to release Maduro.
Oh man.
Like, you guys realize what he just did to that entire country, Maduro? You have people out at the border selling bags of Venezuelan dollars because they mean absolutely nothing. Like, they're using their dollars for product,
Yeah.
for material.
Yeah.
Like, we're living in a crazy world, Shawn. Just like, think about everything we got going on. We have Trump's our president. We have he is the character. Like, he's an icon in a lot of ways as far as like being the billionaire that he is, having all his properties. He has a freaking castle to go to on the weekends, Mar-a-Lago. He's good buddies with the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. Elon Musk gave us free speech again on the internet. What I just did would not have been possible without Elon Musk. The video would have done well on YouTube. It would have got 1 million views. It wouldn't have created any change, though. But if it wasn't for X, you wouldn't have seen any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I went breaking the combat with this Tim Waltz on X.
Man, you really crushed it.
Yeah, well, I had no other option.
You crushed it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Everyone was just coming after me, and I'd never gotten into any internet beef with anybody. They keep coming after me. Well, I guess I'm gonna come back with you. Like, you gotta fight fire with fire. Like, I finally understood why people like Trump and Elon always are out there talking and defending themselves, because you just can't let someone slander your name for no reason,
That's right.
especially if you're in the right. Just
Damn
like you
right.
and your boy Crenshaw.
Hey, can't let people fucking push you around in this world,
No,
or they will just continue doing it. So good for you for standing up for yourself.
exactly.
Way to fucking be, man. All right, Nick. If you had 3 people to recommend for this show, who would they be?
3 people. I would love to see Nayib Bukele. That's somebody I want to personally interview as well. I'm really interested in like leaders of the world. I think Nayib Bukele would be really cool. Gotta think. Have you done John Fetterman?
Mm-mm.
I think he'd be interesting to talk to,
All right.
because I think he's like one of the only Democrats who like has common sense right now. I think he'd be good. I don't know anything about George Bush, and I've never seen him do anything. I think that'd be interesting.
That would be really interesting. I got a lot of questions for him.
Yeah, I'm sure with your past you have a lot of questions with him.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never seen him do any interview. Like, my generation knows absolutely nothing about George Bush other than 9/11. So I think that'd be an interesting conversation.
We've actually been kicking that around, so maybe we will pursue that. But, well, Nick, hope to see you again. Thanks again for the sweatshirt.
course.
And let's go blow some shit up.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.